Previously on Centuria, thanks to Myra's sacrifice, Julian gained his bizarre powers, inherited 100 lives from his 100 fallen companions, got himself a new little sister, and somehow ended up with 2 waifus taking care of him. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, you can check it out right here. Now, back to the story. We pick up with Julian leaving work alongside his new co-worker, Joseph, who happens to have a daughter around Diana's age. The group heads home and sits down for a meal together. During dinner, Angle asks if anyone knows anything about the forest. She's currently carrying out a mission from the king, who ordered her to investigate the entire area. Joseph suggests that his father might know something. Angle then starts talking about the king, referring to him as the Supreme Lord. According to her, the king possesses divine powers comparable to those of a god. The king also has a prophetess who recently foresaw his death. The prophecy states that he must find the calamity hidden within the forest. Otherwise, destruction awaits him. Angle explains that the king once saved her life. Because of that, she is willing to do absolutely anything for him and for his kingdom. A short while later, Joseph mentions that his father has arrived. Naturally, Angle immediately asks him about the forest. The old man says he's heard countless stories about strange creatures living deep within the woods, and if those stories are true, nobody should go near them. In fact, he warns them not to enter the forest at all. Meanwhile, Julian is out taking one of his usual nighttime walks with Diana. As they approach the edge of the woods, Diana suddenly fixes her gaze on the darkness between the trees. And let's just say Julian is a lot less brave than he pretends to be. The sight is creepy enough to nearly make him crap his pants. Later that very night, several villagers come running through town screaming. Something has dragged Joseph into the forest. Realizing there's no time to waste, Angle quickly organizes a rescue mission and heads straight into the woods to search for him. Joseph's father insists on joining the expedition as well. Julian, convinced that his powers could actually help, volunteers to come along. Angle immediately tells him no. Unfortunately for her, Julian couldn't care less. After leaving Diana safely with Tai, he follows Angle into the forest anyway. Deep inside the forest, Angle and the old hunter discover a trail of footprints and blood left behind by an unknown beast. Following the trail, they eventually arrive at a massive dead tree, and hanging from its branches are countless corpses. When they finally spot Joseph, he immediately warns them it's a trap. Suddenly, a horrifying monster emerges from the darkness. The creature is a grotesque mass of fur, countless limbs, and multiple dog-like heads fused together into a single nightmare. To make matters worse, human corpses dangle from its body like trophies. The beast proudly announces that the trap worked perfectly. However, Angle was never its real target. It was after Julian all along. Since he isn't there, the monster decides it will kill everyone present and leave only a single survivor behind as bait. While Angle struggles to process the sheer horror standing before her, the old hunter notices something even worse. The corpses hanging from the monster's body are his former hunting companions. The beast casually confirms it. In fact, it admits that one of its favorite hobbies is spreading despair among humans. It loves watching hope disappear from their faces, and it enjoys listening to their agonizing screams right before they die. Furious, the old hunter gathers his courage and tries to lecture the monster about its cruelty. The creature couldn't care less. Without warning, it launches a savage attack. Reacting instantly, Angle throws herself into harm's way and manages to shield the hunters with a skillful maneuver, but even she can't come out of it unharmed. By the end of the exchange, Angle is badly battered, while the hunters are left with only minor injuries. Meanwhile, we see Julian making his way deeper into the forest. The old hunter throws a bag at the beast and immediately shoots it with an arrow, destroying it. He had already noticed that the monster had no eyes, meaning it most likely relied on its sense of smell and hearing. Using a mixture of herbs the old man brought with him, they cover the scent of their blood and attempt to escape, but the monster is far too fast. It catches up to them and delivers a powerful swipe. Thinking quickly, Joseph grabs a piece of cloth soaked with blood. With impressive agility, he slides underneath the beast and throws the decoy into a bottomless pool in the swamp. The monster grabs onto a nearby tree to avoid being dragged under. At that moment, the old hunter shows off some sniper-level accuracy and severs one of the creature's limbs with a single arrow. The beast falls into the pool, or at least, that's what it looks like. Suddenly, a strange tree-like humanoid emerges from its mouth. The creature has a sword for his right hand and immediately attacks the hunters. Once again, Angle steps in and saves them. The humanoid monster is just about to finish Angle off, but at the very last second, Julian appears out of nowhere with a flying kick. Everyone is left completely confused when Julian suddenly shows up. Like a true hero, he tells the others to stay behind him. The humanoid monster calls Julian an intruder, claiming that a creature from the sea has no right to enter the forest and that he will be punished for it. Julian fires back, telling the monster it's going to eat those words. With that, both of them charge at each other. The creature unleashes several attacks at once, but Julian dodges them with ease and lands a punch that sends the monster crashing into a tree. Angel is stunned by Julian's speed. The monster then merges with the tree and reappears behind Julian. It manages to wound his shoulder, but Julian avoids the next attack with a quick spin. Julian throws another punch, but the monster dodges and counterattacks from behind. Even so, Julian avoids several slashes and shatters one of its arms with a kick. He quickly realizes that the creature can regenerate and move freely through its surroundings, but he also realizes something else. He's stronger. The humanoid suddenly launches a barrage of spikes toward the hunters and Angel. Julian steps in and tanks the attack. Angel tells him to stop, but then Julian gets hit with the power of a flashback and remembers how horribly his former owner treated him. Julian tells Amble that she saved both him and Diana, and now he plans to do the same for the people he cares about. Julian charges straight at the monster and grabs its arm. Even after being stabbed through the side, he manages to throw the creature high into the air, a place where it has nowhere left to run, and with a single punch, he completely shatters the monster. After being completely destroyed, the entity of the forest curses them and calls out to the forest for help in dealing with the intruders. Julian tells everyone to keep moving while he holds the enemies back, or at least he tries to. A powerful blow sends him flying straight toward Angel and the others. Fortunately, they all end up outside the forest. Looking at the creatures emerging from the woods, Julian is reminded of the murlocs that once tried to eat him. Because of that, he realizes they can't leave the trees behind. Just then, an intimidating mushroom woman appears, and she absolutely destroys our protagonist with a massive psychic explosion. Nah, just kidding. It was only an illusion, but her mere presence reminds Julian of the power of the sea monster that gave him his abilities. The group manages to escape and returns to the village. Once there, Angel is immediately taken to the infirmary, where Ravenna begins treating her injuries. While she recovers, Tai tells Julian about her past and how Angel adopted her after her parents died. She also thanks Julian for saving Angel's life. At that point, Julian starts having a bit of a panic attack. He's convinced the monsters will keep chasing him and Diana. He even starts thinking that he should leave so he doesn't put everyone else in danger. Angel quickly shuts that idea down. Despite her injuries, she sits up and tells him that everything will be fine as long as he stays away from the forest. So he shouldn't even think about abandoning them, because they're a family now, and families face their problems together. And that's where this part of the story ends. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of Centuria. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.